Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Sodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya 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 Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Pavrikacharya Satara Sada Shri Srimada's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki Jai Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopana Shai Makunda Radha Kunda Giri Gaurana Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi All glories to assembled devotees All glories to assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 71, and this is text 35. Uchustriya pati niriksha mukunda patnis. Tara yatot dupat sahat kimakarya mubi. Yachchakshusham purusham maler udarahasa. Lilavaloka kala yotsavam atanoti. Uchustriya patini riksha mukunda patnis. Uchustriya patini riksha mukunda patnis. Tara yato dupasaha kim akarya mubi. Yach chakshusham purushumala udara hasa. Lila valoka kalayotsavam atanoti. Uchustriya pati niriksha mukunda patnis. Tara yato dupa saha kimuda akarya mubi. Yach chakshusham purushamaler udara hasa. Vilo lila valoka kalayotsavam atanoti. Uchustriya pati niriksha mukunda patnis. Tara yato dupasaha kimakari mubi. Yakshakshusham parushamale udara hasa. Lila loka kalayotsavam atanoti. Uchuhu said, Striyaha, the women, Pati, upon the road, Niriksha, seeing, Mukunda, of Lord Krishna, Patnihi, the wives, Tara, stars, Yata, like, Udupa, the moon, Saha, accompanying, Kim, what? Akari, was done, Amubi, by them, Yat, since, Chakshusham, for their eyes, Purusha, of men, Malahi, the diadem. Now, word diadem, interesting word. It originally refers to a royal headdress worn by originally the kings of Persia, and they also had a little feather in it. But Caesar, the Roman emperors, they also wore these kind of crowns. And it also refers to like a tiara that a princess might wear. However, in this case, it means the apex of beauty, because the word has also been expanded to that use. So the highest level of beauty is a diadem. Udara, wide. Hasa, with smiles. Lila, playful. Avaloka, of his glances. Kalaya, with a small portion. Utsavam, a festival. Atanoti, he bestows. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Observing Lord Mukunda's wives passing on the road like stars accompanying the moon, the women exclaimed, these are the women of Indraprastha who are on the roofs of the houses, "What have these ladies done so that the best of men bestows upon their eyes the joy of his generous smiles and playful sidelong glances?" Please repeat. Observing Lord Mukunda's wives passing on the road like stars accompanying the moon, the women exclaimed, "What have these ladies done so that the best of men bestows upon their eyes the joy of his generous smiles and playful sidelong glances?" There's no purport, but I'm going to read Jiva Goswami's Tika. The women of the palace saw on the road the wives accompanying Krishna. In order that Krishna could enter the palace, they all left the road and came outside onto the side streets. The wives moved along with Krishna, just as stars move along with the moon. They obtained only a glimpse of him, since he was surrounded by great personalities. Thus they envied the queens. What have they done so that he, the best of men, completely distributes to them an excellent smile, or a smile that gives all bliss and special happiness of playful side glances, since, being the best of men, he is most suitable for service because of his beauty and qualities. Though he was capable of various sweet pastimes, only his glance is described, since even by that they understood that he was most rare to attain, or they did not want to show boldness. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastai Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesa Shunyavadi Praschachadeshtarni Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So many nice descriptions of the Lord here, as the words Mukunda Patni Tara Yata Udapa, that we see here, that it's described how Krishna is moving through the streets like the moon with the stars surrounding him. Such a nice, beautiful vision of how to understand how the Lord is moving with his wives. And later on, it's also described he's Mali, or he's the diadem, or the highest perfection of beauty. And he has hasa, with smiles, lila, playful, avaloka glances. But this is only kalaya, a small portion of actually the beauty of the Lord. So by only seeing a small portion of the beauty of the Lord, the ladies of Indraprastha have become totally enlivened, and in this case, envious. Of course, this is a spiritual pastime, so it's transcendental envy. It's envy without malice. You know, when people are envious in this world, they also are very, very eager to see the other person torn down or hurt in some way. So this is this spiritual envy. Oh, how could we be like them? How fortunate they are. There's another verse that parallels this, and there are many, but this is one I'm going to pick, which is from chapter 44 of this same canto. And this is when Krishna is entering Mathura on his way to kill Kamsa. And there is very similar description here of Krishna's beauty and a similar situation of the ladies of Mathura seeing Krishna and becoming so enlivened, and then also somewhat envious of the gopis. Gopyastapakim acharan yaramusya rupam lavanya saram asamordvam ananya siddham drigbi pibant yanusava binivam durapam ekantadama yashaya shriya aishvarasya. What austerities must the gopis have performed! With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh, and extremely rare. This is 1044:14. Anusava abhinavam, constantly new, durapam, difficult to obtain, ekantadama, the only abode of yasasa, we want to be famous, Krishna is all famous, striha, of beauty, we want beauty, who's more beautiful than Krishna? And aishvarasya, what opulence can we have compared to the opulence of the Supreme Lord? So in these two verses, this glimpse of Krishna seen by those who are not in Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, the Aishvarya, the opulence, although it is great, is overwhelmed by Madhurya, sweetness. But here, the denizens of Mathura and Dwarka, they're seeing the beauty of the Lord, but they're also seeing his opulence. So this is, one step down from Vrindavan. But still, this is complete and total prem by the Krishna is the alambana of this of their prem. And they see him, and it's like, oh my God, how beautiful he is. And this is all beyond anything we can conceive of in this material world. Because in this material world, it's interesting also, let me make this point, that it is the women who are the highest devotees. The gopis, the queens of Dwarka, these fortunate personalities who have the ability, who have the feminine form, which is Prakriti. And Krishna is the Purusha. So the best form to relate to Krishna is obviously the Prakriti form. I mean, everyone's, as we'll get into here, everyone's Prakriti. But it's only the gopis who have the intimate relationship. It's only the queens that have an intimate relationship. It's even the elder gopis who have the intimate relationship of feeding baby Krishna their breast milk. These are very intimate and close relationships that are obtainable only when this Prakriti understands the position of Purusha completely. So in this material world, when we think of Purusha, Prakriti, everyone thinking is Purusha. And therefore everyone's trying to enjoy. And everyone's trying to set themselves up as the Purusha over the other Prakritis. I want to be Purusha, and I want you to be Prakriti. But it's all contaminated because there's all this internal personal motives. There's no personal motives with the queens or Krishna. It's all completely love. So I want to bring in the fact that Prabhupada really wants to train us. You know, Prabhupada came to give pure devotional service. That's it. To everyone. And the essence of that is to get everyone to somehow or other chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, ultimately purely. It's the only thing in this age that will save us. We can't do the other sacrifices of the other ages. We can't engage in austerities like they did in other ages. We can chant under the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Mahamantra, which will purify our hearts and help us engage in a relationship with Krishna via our Gurudev. So Prabhupada, he's giving us some instruction here about the nature of Purusha. And the nature is how it is in this world, and how it is that in this world we can actually then transfer this sort of consciousness to the process of Krishna consciousness. This is a class given in Miami, February 25th, 1975. Maybe you were there, Maharaj?
February 25th, 1975.
Yeah. I don't know. This is one of you're South America. He had just left South America and come here. So Prabhupada's speaking here. The husband is one, and the wife may be two or more, so actually that is the position. The Supreme Lord is the husband or Purusha. Husband means Purusha, and Prakriti means Stri. Stri means woman. Male, female, these two things. The Supreme Male is Krishna, and everyone, either this dull matter or the living entities, they are called female, Prakriti. Prakriti means female, and Purusha means male. So nobody is actually male except Krishna. We are also female. We are dressed like male, and somebody has dressed like female. But all of us, we are female, Prakriti, enjoyable. The enjoyer is Krishna. That we do not know. And this is our problem in the material world. We don't understand this. That we'll only be happy by pleasing Krishna. We think we'll be happy by pleasing ourselves. Here, the so-called woman is also Purusha because she is also trying to enjoy. Anyone who is trying to enjoy, he is called to be Purusha. And the subject matter or object which is enjoyed, that is called Prakriti. So in the material world, we are trying to exploit one another either in the dress of male or in the dress of female, because this body is dress. So originally we are all female, but falsely we are trying to enjoy one another in this material world. Therefore, they are sometimes called Purusha. So this is, this male, female, there's a rivalry going on. Why? Because everyone's trying to control each other. Women control men in a certain way. Men control women in a certain way. But the problem is, it's all material. Prabhupada came to give us transcendental understanding, not to try to act in the material sphere. Conventional religion, that is religion that is ultimately karma mishra bhakti or jnana mishra bhakti mixed with the desire for material enjoyment or the desire for knowledge, is always considering these male-female issues. Therefore, you got churches like, I'll give you an example. The Church of England, which is called the Anglican Church or the Episcopalian Church outside of England, they've got a big problem. Because the Church of England, that is in England, and most of the churches in the Western world, like USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, whatever, they all ordain women as priests. But the African and the what we would call the developing world nations, they reject women priests. It's a huge issue in the church. It's tearing the church apart because the certain, what we would call the more sophisticated parts of the world, they know that they need to, well, they have to involve women. In fact, what's really causing the crisis is that the Archbishop of Canterbury now is a woman. And the churches in Africa are going really crazy. They can't take it. They want to break off from the Church of England. Sound familiar, folks, huh? It's the same dynamic going on because it's based upon the body. It's based upon, and of course for them, the body, I mean, they don't go to a transcendental platform. But we're supposed to go to a transcendental platform, I think. Anyway, Prabhupada in another class, he speaks. He says, we being Prakriti, our business is to remain eternal servant of Krishna. Then we will be happy. This is a class he gave in Bombay in 1974. Otherwise, we will not be happy. It is not possible. And the whole material world, whole Vedic Shastra, whole Vedic culture is meant for rectifying this mentality that I am independent. I'm just saying, the Prabhupada says here, that I am independent, but I am dependent on Krishna. So I've forgotten Krishna somehow or other, and I have taken this mentality of Purusha, thinking I'm independent, enjoying this material world. I have to rectify this. So if I rectify that, then I become free from the clutches of Maya. So as long as we're thinking we're independent, we have some sphere in this world where we work. I'm important in this world because I'm this, or I'm important in this world because I'm this. That person's not important because of that. This is all material consciousness. And Prabhupada says you can never be happy as long as we're thinking like that, because our business is to remain eternal servant of Krishna. That's the business. And in this world, Lord Chaitanya said, whoever understands the science of Krishna consciousness, who can actually give Krishna consciousness our eternal business, not just something on the material platform, that person is qualified to be a teacher, or we call sometimes guru. It's not that we have some sort of, qualification, material qualification for spiritual understanding. And this goes along with what Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy discussed in the Ramananda Samvad. Because in that discussion, the real nature of spiritual life is actually revealed in this conversation. Because Lord Chaitanya goes to Ramananda Roy on the banks of the Godavari River. And of course, that was a scandal too, because he embraced Ramananda Roy. Oh my God. The Brahmanas were scandalized. What's the sannyasi, hugging or embracing a kayasta, which is sort of a Shudra-Kshatriya hybrid. They do Kshatriya work, but oftentimes they're considered Shudras. So what's going on here? Here's this great kind of administrator with his whole retinue and a simple sannyasi. So this was scandalous because within the material framework, it wasn't right. So many things within the material framework may not be right, but we really, and Prabhupada really wasn't interested in getting the material framework right. I mean, it was good, and it's mentioned in his books, and he would like to see that right. But, if you get the material framework right, but you don't get spiritual life first, then great, you got a nice material setting, but it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. They had a retreat where they can actually be honest and exchange a discussion of what is real spiritual life. And so the step-by-step they went through. And the first thing that's mentioned is Varnashram Dharma. And that's, performance of social duties. And Lord Chaitanya dismissed that really quickly. Now, Varnashram's really good. You know, if you have a rocket ship and you need to launch it, it's nice to have a good launching pad. You know, it's harder to, they all have these, you know, great systems, you know, the USA and Soviet Union or Russia now. But in any case, so that's a good launching pad. But if the rocket sits on the launching pad, well, so what? You know, it doesn't go anywhere. So Varnashram, performance of social duties, that's rejected as external. Then karma pana, which is dedicating, you know, I'll give everything to Krishna. You have the right to perform your duties, but don't claim that the results of your action are yours, but give everything to Krishna. That's external. Karma Mishra Bhakti. So we want to do karma, and we want to have our stuff, and we also want to, you know, tinge it with a little bhakti, which is good. It's nice, but that's also external. It's not going to get, one will not reach the supreme goal of transcendental love with the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha Golokananda, by Karma Mishra Bhakti. And Jnana Mishra Bhakti, this is what especially gets men hung up, because, you know, we men mostly have to understand everything through the head. Women are more fortunate in the sense that they can turn the head off long enough to understand that that it's not the head, it's the heart. Now, when men can actually get their head right, then they can become really great devotees. But a lot of men, and I know a lot of men, you know, they get hung up. God, doesn't make sense. How can Krishna make sense to your head? He can't make sense. He only makes sense in the heart, ultimately. So then, finally, and that's all external. So finally, Ramananda Roy speaks about Shuddha Bhakti, or pure devotional service devoid of all speculation. Then Lord Chaitanya says, this is okay. Because then this may not be pure bhakti yet. I mean, really pure, because, I mean, at least for me. But Prabhupada wanted us to do this. What? Engage in chanting, engage in preaching, engage in deity worship, engage in associating with the devotees, hear Krishna Katha. This is Shuddha Bhakti. He never said, chant Hare Krishna and you'll get rich. Now, there were people who had mantras back in the 60s, I won't mention the groups or group, who said, chant this mantra and you'll get rich. Chant this mantra and you'll get a girlfriend. Chant this mantra and your car will never break down. I mean, there really were groups, and I do know the mantra because I did chant the mantra for a while until I said, this is ridiculous. I knew the devotees already, but in any case. So, and ultimately we want to come to the platform of Prema Bhakti. And Prema Bhakti is divided into lots and lots of different, and we won't get into all of them. There's, you know, there's Dasya, Shakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and then we get into the higher levels of Madhurya. But we understand that we want Prema Bhakti. That's the highest goal. And the highest goal is what Lord Chaitanya exemplified, is that we want to become Das Anu Das Anu Das Anu Das, servant of the Gopi. Gopi Pada Kamalayor Das Das Anu Das. We want to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the Gopis. Now, Lord Chaitanya, he's a sannyasi in this material world, and he follows the rules of sannyas. I mean, really strictly. Maharaj brought up the point of Chota Haridas yesterday. I mean, it's a good thing that is not applied, because Chota Haridas was baking rice, not from a beautiful young girl he's batting his eyelashes at, and she's... This is not what happened. It was not like he was flirting with a young woman, or she was flirting with him. It was an old woman. But he tarried a little too long and hung out there a little too long, and that was association. And that association, Lord Chaitanya said, by example, I have to make him an example. Doesn't apply now. Every culture has their own social norms. And you got to follow the social norms. I mean, they may not be very high social norms, but you got to realize what Prabhupada realized, that he came to the West And he realized, hey, Indian social norms don't work in New York City in 1965. They don't work. Girls and boys mix. Right now they're doing all sorts of nonsense things. How can I get them not to do nonsense things and at least come to a level of, a modicum of purity so they can engage in Krishna consciousness? So, but Lord Chaitanya, he was so strict that he would not even engage in relationships with any woman. Yet, he says the highest worship of Krishna is the word. No one has invented a higher worship of Krishna than the gopis. Now, this particular statement is written in several places in Prabhupada's books, but this is coming from the teachings of Lord Kapila. This is number 10. You have to understand that these were originally classes, and they've been kind of like put into a book form. But it's very interesting what Prabhupada says about Lord Chaitanya here. There are many dharmas or activities. Some are pious, some impious. But Krishna tells us to give up both. Arjuna was thinking that it was impious to fight with his relatives, but Krishna was insisting that he fight. How could Arjuna act impiously? He could not, because Krishna's service is transcendental to pious and impious activity. At midnight, when the gopis heard the sound of Krishna's flute, they ran in the forest to join him. Uh-oh, not good. Not even really good in this world either. Some wife runs off in the midnight to go to a nightclub with another man. A husband not going to be happy. But this was not an impious activity because the gopis did this for Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was so strict that no woman could even come near him, offers respects, actually said, Ramya Kachid Upasana Raja Vadu Varjena Yakalpita. What could be more wonderful than that worship conceived by the gopis? Although it actually appeared immoral for the gopis to dance with Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states that their relation with Krishna is the highest. It's completely out of the spiritual, out of the material realm. There is no material consideration to understanding this point. And whoever can give that understanding, doesn't matter who they are. They could be a plumber who works, cleaning out bad things. But if they're spending their life chanting Hare Krishna purely, and let's go for it, pure. Let's talk about Jayananda. He was a plumber and everything else, but he was a pure devotee. Not to speak of what were the controversies of the day, what body you have, who can teach it? Are you going to ask your doctor, what's your nationality? I don't accept Indian doctors. You're out of luck. So anyway, we have to be taught by whoever had gold, wherever it's found, we take. Okay. This is actually transcendental knowledge. One becomes transcendental to all pious and impious activities when one serves Krishna. After all, piety and impiety are within the material modes. Krishna's service is transcendental to good and bad, pious and impious. Bhakti yoga begins when jnana and vairagya are complete. Jnana is knowledge, vairagya is detachment from matter and engagement of the mind and spirit. Both of these are automatically attained when we engage in devotional service to Krishna. So if we meet someone who's engaged in Krishna consciousness for like half a century, and they have jnana and vairagya, and their engagement in their mind is in spirit, we follow that person. Doesn't matter who they are, where they came from, what gender they are, whatever. Otherwise, we end up like the Episcopalian Church, fighting about, who is qualified to be a priest. That's not what that's not what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted us to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and give it to others. That's the mood that Prabhupada wanted. I think it's time.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalayataksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundaranam Nandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham
Bhajami. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste. Swati Deve. Korvani Bachar. Negi. Sha. Junior Vade. Shachare. Satarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Nana Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sati Gaurata Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Nana Prabhupada Dvaita Gadada Siva Sati Gaurata Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram and Ram Goli Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Goloka nana, Goloka nana, Radhe. Goloka nana, Radha Goloka nana, Radhe. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa. His divine Go Sami
Tomorrow at 11:30, we're going to be at Gold Park to begin our Nagar Sankirtan through the Riverwalk up to Weaver Street and back. It's going to be a beautiful day. Lots of people will be out there walking up back and forth, and they're going to see the Harinam Sankirtan go past them, and they'll hear the holy names, and this is the perfection of their walk. Chaitodarpanam Arjanam Agni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. Hare Krishna. Thank you for dressing your deities so beautifully. Okay. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam namakari bahudan nija sarva shaktis tatrapitani amitasmaranena kala etadrishita vakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midbrishami hajjani nanuraga trinadapi sunichena tarorapi suhishuna amani namana dena kirtaniya sadahari nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam vajagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatad bhaktir hoitaki dvai aitam nam nudam yaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budau Kripayata babada pankaja stita duli sadrashim vachintaya nayanam galashru daraya vadanam gadgadrudaya gira pulakarnishitam vabhukada tavanamagrahane bhavishyati yugayatam namishena chakshusha pravashayatam shunayatam jagat sarvam Govindam virahiname aslishyava padamratamanastumam adarshanam marmahata karotuva yatatatava vidadatu lampato matprananatastusa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life at birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge and increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. My Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.